Who are you?
My name is Ben Lim. I'm 25 years old. I'm a Korean American young man. I'm a pastor here in LA, and I'm a son of God, and I love Jesus, and I love you.
Amen.
That's who I am.
What do you think makes Ben Ben, a characteristic of yourself?
What makes me me is Jesus. I believe every person has their own unique giftings, personality mix, and all that. But my heart's desire is just to be like Jesus, which means to be like the Father. And every single day I wake up and I ask myself, what does it mean to be like the Father? What does it mean to be love? And I think that's what makes me me. There's all these principles, you obey, you hear his voice, you pray in tongues, shakaraba. People think that being Ben Lim is like going on mission trips or like healing the sick or praying in tongues all the time. But me being me is just being like Jesus the best way that I know how. And just be authentic, be yourself, be original. And I think that only happens when you know who Jesus is. When you know your sonship, your identity.
Yes, I like that answer. Tell us a brief summary of your testimony.
Yeah, growing up in a pastor's family, I was born and raised in a pastor's family, and just like all the cliches, it's difficult being a PK, minister's kid, whatever. But my father had a thriving church here in Sun Valley. But around when I was 11, my birth mother left our family, and that literally stripped our family apart. And I grew up in a lot of abuse in every single kind of way. And my father wasn't really around. He was just a distant pastor. But then it was in that time where my stepmom came into the family, and she said that it's her call to come into this broken pastor's life and bring it back to life. So she did it. She prayed, and here I am 6-7 years later, going through drug dealing and violence and gang activity, and I went through hell and back. But that was when my father actually became my father, and he showed me the father heart of God. After all those years of crying out before the Lord and fasting and praying and getting on his knees with my stepmother, and all those prayers, all of a sudden it just broke out. And here I am. I'm 25 years old, and I went to DTS when I was 18, and I've been in 12-13 countries since then, just with the revival fire, and Jesus is King. So, and I started my church. That's a little bit of my testimony, but that's where I'm at now. So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
What is a funny or embarrassing moment you can share with us?
Well, one memory comes to mind. I remember during our DTS, I was in Australia, Newcastle. I remember right before we went on our outreach, which is a 2-month mission trip to India and Nepal. We were at this house in Canberra, Australia, and at that time I loved drinking milk. Okay, I don't really drink milk no more because I don't want estrogen, I don't want man boobies. Okay, but I love milk, and I remember it was the first time in a long time I was able to drink milk, right? So we opened up the fridge, and then there was milk, and I was so excited, and it was like a tall cup, not like a rinky-dink cup, it was a tall cup, and I filled it up with milk, and I started running up the stairs, and then I tripped, and I spilled the milk all around the stairs, and so I spilled milk all over a guest's or a person's house. But yeah,
fun.
Is that enough? Is that good enough?
Yeah, that floats the boat.
Okay, floats the boat. All right. Hey guys, so I pray that you were blessed by our question and answer testimony video, and this is just the beginning of much more to come. You guys can check us out at b100lim.org, and there's a lot of kingdom content there, blogs, podcasts. I have a new album coming out, and I just pray that in this season that you guys will be blessed and overwhelmed by the creative power of Jesus, because God's moving us into a new thing. So bless you. Until next time.